He won't answer text regarding his son. To try to keep questions yes or no, but he still ignores. Actually, I wouldn't even text him then. Like, if he's going to ignore you when it comes to your son, that means he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your son. So I wouldn't even reach out. Do they ever take accountability? No, they typically never take accountability for their actions. They won't change. Yeah, because they're not willing to be honest. How do we let go of the hope that they can change? You have to go off of the facts of the situation and also help rewire the story that you believe, because you're believing a possibility that they are going to change. You're believing that when we can look at all the data that shows you, hey, they have not. They've only manipulated. They've only moved forward like even more to try to control you even more. What about you work with this person and he is your boss? A lot of times you're probably going to have to find a new job. Like, if there's not a way that you can establish healthy boundaries and it works in the work relationship, or you go above their head and establish boundaries in the work relationship, a lot of times people have to leave the job. I'm just saying. It's not convenient, I know, but I'm just saying what's more important, like the money coming in or you be able to actually heal. I find your account very helpful. You speak and tell and don't play. I don't play very often. In custody battle, will they ever ask for full custody? Yeah, they'll ask for full custody. They don't have to pay your child support. Okay. How do you ignore the guilt that they throw at you? Understanding like what they're throwing at you, understanding the facts of it. Is it actually true? Is it actually real? Like, being able to look at it. Our children think he's the world of him, and I'm afraid the divorce will do them, and they'll think it's my fault. There could be a period of that where they do think that. Long term, what we see is the kids will start to understand and see how the toxic person actually showed up. Just make sure that you don't minimize it or explain it away. Is there any chance to stop the smear campaign? Is there any sense to start legal actions if I have evidence of slander? Yeah, no, absolutely. If you have evidence of slander and that kind of stuff, I would go for legal action. Otherwise, I wouldn't think anything of it. Like, ignore all the rest of the smear campaign. If your narcissistic ex ignores you, is it over, or do they want to reach out and beg? A lot of times we reach out and beg, but it could be all over things. He wants to control me and he gets a kick out of it. 100%. Narcissist wants to control you. Since the breakup, he either tells me to move on or he loves bomb me out of the blue. Why do narcissists do this? It's still to keep you around. Like let's just be friends afterwards. Still to keep you around. Like, you need to be able to close the access. He's telling the kids different stories. 100%. He's going to tell you one, the kid's a different one. Why do narcissists want to remain friends after a breakup? Still control you. Okay? Like, it's still to make sure that he has access to you. Why is my narcissistic family ghosting me after I tried no contact and tried to reconcile? I don't get it. With that, it'd probably be because you went no contact. They view you as being like that you like betrayed them. You betrayed like the family system. So they'll probably be like, yeah, we're never gonna like forgive you, kind of thing. At that point, you know that they're not actually willing to work on their growth. It's hard when you break free and start to heal and rebuild. Yeah, no, 100%. My ex won't see me in person, but responds to text. Why? I don't have a good answer for that. A lot of narcissists would want to see you in person. That way they could try to manipulate you. Now, narcissists sometimes withholding validation on purpose. Yes, 100%. That way you keep asking for more. That way you keep trying to come back. Narcissist told me to block him and delete him. Should I? Yes, I would 100% do that. Will he be a better man for the mistress he discarded me for? No, because he hasn't changed. Like he discarded you to go be with someone else. It's not because he found the love of his life. It's just he found someone that doesn't actually understand his mask yet. That doesn't actually see below the stuff that he's actually put out there. So it's going to move to the next person, the next person, the next person. It keeps going. But the thing is, you start to believe the lie that it's going to be better with the next person because all you see is social media, or all you hear is from friends that are on the outside seeing the love bomb. That's the thing you need to understand. Narcissist isn't going to change for the next person. They tell you that, but they're not going to change for the next person. I've learned as I write in my journal of yours, I feel really good for a while, and then it creeps back in, the rumination of the good times. Then I try to write out all the bad. Hope you've hung around for a while. Jump in the 7-day challenge or the 45. Because like with the rumination piece and that coming back up, the 45 would get rid of that. Like if you do the work, the 45 will eradicate a lot of that, the clarity challenge. Try to tell him about himself, but he doesn't listen or get it. Yeah, because he doesn't care or because he knows and he doesn't care. At the end of the day, if he's not willing to be honest, vulnerable, and show consistent change, like you're barking up the wrong tree. It's not going to help anything. Why do I feel like I'm the only woman that my narcissist ex abused? I feel like it must be a crazy one and the only one accused him of that. The rest could be trauma bonded. The rest he could have silent. The rest he could have pushed to the side. I was with my soon-to-be ex-husband for 25 years. He never let me work. Now he tells me free ride is almost over, says I'm doing everything he's done to me. Does he believe his own lies? He has to, so he's not the bad guy. So like he wants to believe his own lies, so he's not the bad guy. I've been doing truth videos, accountability via social media to every rumor. What can I do instead? Is that combating a smear campaign? Because if you start doing that too much, you're going to look like the crazy one. Like if it's to a smear campaign, I wouldn't do anything at all. Like you're going to have people that believe it and don't actually like you're going to have people believe it and don't actually question like, hey, is this right or is this wrong? Like those people that believe it and they don't even come to you, like they shouldn't even be in your life. Okay, but the people that like hear it and they're like, hey, did you hear this? Like, what's going on? And you tell them, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know. Those are the people that you want to have in your life. Okay. What if you report it? Depends on what evidence you have to be able to report it. A lot of times, like smear campaigns, like they're not something necessarily to report, or sometimes they're not necessarily what you can. In the 45-day challenge, do I have to attend live sessions? Hope no, you don't. It's all at your own pace. Like each day, a new lesson unlocks. You watch video, read through text, and then do a daily assignment each day. When a narcissist cheats, is it true that they don't have any specific type? They just cheat. Yeah. Be like whoever's giving them supply, whoever's getting them attention. So it's not gonna fit in one genre. A lot of times people think it does. It doesn't. Tired of the inconsistency. So Veronica, what are you gonna do about it? Because at the end of the day, if you're tired of the inconsistency, we have to be able to see there's a pattern here. It's very consistent in the inconsistency. So what are we actually gonna do to change it? Okay. Why won't my ex block me or tell me to leave her alone, but she just won't respond? Because it just keeps you reaching out. Like at that point, you need to take the high road and actually block. Like you need to start working forward on your growth. Like this is the whole aspect. Like the narcissist will put you in pain, but it is your decision to actually make the next step. Like you can't expect the narcissist to block you. Like you're like, I want them to block me so I don't reach out, or they say to block, all this kind of stuff. Like, no, you need to take the high road. Like you need to actually block. You need to focus on what is actually important. And you're like, well, I want to keep that door open. Okay, is that person the person you want to be with? Well, yes. Okay, well, are they loving? Well, no. Are they abusive? Well, yes. Okay, do you still want them in your life? Well, not really, but kind of. They might change. Have they changed? No, they haven't changed. Have they demonstrated change? No, they haven't demonstrated change. Okay, then why don't we close the door? Well, because, okay, then go back to the facts. Because we have to get to the place where you block the narcissist and you continue to move through with your life. Is that easy? No, not at all. I'm not saying it's easy. That's why we have a scripted out process in all of our programs, step by step by step, to help get you to freedom. But it still is your choice. And if you don't make that choice to actually move forward in your growth, change, and development, you're going to stay stuck. This doesn't magically change. This doesn't magically get better. There's no pixie dust that you're going to find between today and tomorrow that's going to make the situation any better. But you can start to invest in you. The problem is most people run away from that because it feels too hard, feels too painful, and you're not sure if you can actually have a good outcome.